Hi, sweetie. Are you gonna hold my finger? Are you gonna hold my finger? Hello, I'm Martin Tyner, and this is Helen. This is our little peregrine. She's our newest wildlife ambassador, and we're going to talk about one of the needs that we have for the Wildlife Foundation. We're in my living room, and here in the living room, Helen takes turns with some of the other birds that are wildlife ambassadors, so they get more time to hang out. But we are in desperate need of a triage building, and we've been looking around, and we found one that I think would work just fine. Come with me, and we'll talk a little bit about what we need. The first issue that we have is this is really the triage center. If I get my wife to move her paperwork, this is where we take the injured animals and do a lot of their first examinations right here on the kitchen table. And of course the refrigerator is our refrigerator, but we have to have food for the animals, so we have this is a farmer sent me a bunch of gophers, but we use have rats and mice and that kind of stuff in our personal refrigerator. This is where we house the most critically ill, indoor perches, and then airport kennels, and I have a whole bunch more airport kennels. This room can, at times, you can barely walk in it because there's so many kennels in here with injured animals. But this is basically the clinic that we use to care for these animals, and this has been our clinic for more than 40 years. Freezer's full of frozen rats, frozen mice, quail, rabbits, and so on to feed the injured wildlife. And I'm so grateful they're both full right now, because that's kind of how we do things. Just two freezers full of, and not only pinky mice, hoppers, baby quail, all the food that these guys need. Depending on what size animal and the ages and so on and so forth. These are the rehab chambers that we use. So, it's very, very, very modest facilities, and the whole idea of the Cedar Canyon Nature Park was to build new facilities for the injured wildlife and move all of the wildlife rescue out of my home and to the nature park. Well, it's been a very slow process. Raising $10 million in small town Utah is a very, very, very slow process. And so we're still using our facilities here at my home. Now, we'll always need facilities here at the house for the critically ill. And so these will always be used. But we've kind of put off, building anything new, because we want to build new at the nature park. But we do really have a need, and that's to get a small building that we can use as a triage center, so we can move at least the animals out of the house itself. And what we're looking at right now is a 10 by 16 foot prefabricated shed that we're going to put right here. And I've got electricity out here, and we can have this is our triage building. And the nice thing about these prefabricated shed type buildings is that they are movable. So as we get further along with the nature park, we can take this and move it, just like these cargo containers can be moved over to the nature park as we see fit to have more facilities at the park. And so these beautiful, beautiful prefabricated buildings, a 10 by 16 would fit here wonderfully. You see, I've already got the gravel out to spread around for it, and the railroad ties to set it on. And it's just a matter of starting a little campaign to raise the funds. And what's actually, we've got a commitment
Hi, I'm DG. I'm the volunteer critter web geek, and I would like to explain this commitment that Martin just mentioned. And it all stems from about 3 years ago when I, like many other people, stumbled across this video of Martin dealing with a bald eagle and his amazing way that he does these things. And of course I thought it was amazing, so I showed my dad and he thought it was amazing, and so we just both really enjoyed following all he does, and even as I helped edit the videos, my dad was still the first one to watch. He enjoyed it. This is his copy of Healer of Angels, which he also enjoyed very much. So we all think that the Herman R. Gallardo Wildlife Triage Facility would be a pretty good idea, and my mom, Dorothy, would very much like to do this for her husband. And the game plan is that we went out around here in Havasu and we found something we think that will work really well, and we came up with a price of about $5,000. And what we'd like to do is do a matching. So for every person who donates $1, we'll donate $1. Dorothy will donate $1 till we get all the way up to about $5,000. If it works out, we get the Wildlife Triage Facility for the critters, and we get Martin his house back. So I hope you can help. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. We'd like to show you the shed that the Southwest Wildlife Foundation would like to purchase for their triage facility up in Utah. This is a 10-foot by 16-foot shed with a 4-foot wide door. In this case, we're going to do a 6-foot wide double door, as well as a window and vents. And I'd like to show you the inside. This is what the inside of the shed looks like. It is 100% lined by a Silvertech radiant heat barrier. This radiant heat barrier will keep it about 30 degrees cooler in the summertime, and it will help do a little bit of insulation in the wintertime. The walls are going to be 7 foot 8 inches tall. The door will be 6 foot 7 inches tall. Everything is 16-inch on center 2x4 studs. We've opted to upgrade to double doors, which will be 2 3-foot doors side by side. One of them is free swinging, the other one is pinned, so when large equipment or anything large has to be brought in and out, it can be completely opened up so that nothing is damaged as it's going in and out. Last but not least, we're putting in one window, a 2x2 window for ventilation, as well as to add a little bit of visibility. And at the top, underneath each peak, we're going to put an 8x16 screen vent to allow the shed to breathe, whether you're in it or you're not.
So this is the location, and we're ready to get the building here just as soon as we can get the necessary funds for it. And we would greatly appreciate any of your help in getting this building put together and get that triage out of my home and get the freezers over here and its own refrigerator and just everything we need. A 10x16 would be adequate for the animals. So there you go. Thank you much, guys.